I'm James with NetNewsLedger. We're sitting at the Prince Arthur Hotel. I'm here with the Green Party leader, Elizabeth May, who's here not only as a Green Party leader, but also as an author tonight.
That's right. I'm here on my book tour. My new book is called Who We Are, Reflections on My Life in Canada.
So you've had an interesting trip into Canada
Yeah.
coming out of the United States. And there's, of course, a contact to Bruce Heyer that you guys have known each other since before you knew each other.
Well, we could have known each other as early as 1970. We've worked it out that we may or must have been in the same room at the same time around 1970, working on April 22nd, 1970, which was the first Earth Day. I was in high school in Connecticut. He was already working for the Department of the Environment in Connecticut. It's a small world for completely different reasons. Obviously, my family moved to Nova Scotia when I was still a teenager. And as we all know, Bruce Heyer moved to Thunder Bay and got very involved in tourism and small business and wilderness and protecting wilderness. So we've known each other a really long time. My background I write about in the book was a great preparation for what I'm doing now, because my mom was an amazing organizer and volunteer for good causes. And I learned a lot on my mother's knee.
Sort of we all do. For me, really, my parents, but also my grandmother, who every day I hear something she taught me.
That's lovely.
What's your favorite parts of the book?
Wow. I think I really love the chapter on economics. I walk people through the writings on the economy that have meant the most to me, the ways in which economics can actually be inspiring, the fact that there's so many different kinds of economic theory. And there really are. They're a matter of theory. And in some ways, I put forward that for some people, they're almost like their own separate religions. Some people are very strong adherents to certain types of economic theory. And my main point is helping someone who hasn't ever read economics demystify it. Really, the question Canadians need to ask is, do we want the kind of economic theory that understands that the purpose of an economy is to support prosperity for Canadian communities? Or do we want the kind of economic theory that says everything about Canada, including all of us as human beings, are feedstocks for an economic machine that always wants more? In other words, is the economy working for us, or do we work for the economy? And Greens clearly believe that we need an economy that services the needs of people.
Sort of a Canada for us as opposed to Canada Incorporated.
Exactly. And also the book looks at trade deals and explains those. It looks at climate science and explains that. But it also tells stories about, crazy, funny things that have happened to me, like trying to get Bill Clinton into the climate negotiations in Montreal in 2005 and having to charter private airplanes and borrow people's credit cards to cover the cost of the private airplanes. I've had quite a few adventures, and some of them are in this book.
So it's a good read, and people will be able to pick the book up here in Thunder Bay at the Women's Northern Bookstore.
Yes, absolutely, and I hope you will.
And I'm James with NetNewsLedger and with Elizabeth May at the Prince Arthur Hotel.